Alright, yo, welcome back to my page. My name is Albert Gorman of Down Film and Photography, and this is your first time here. Please hit the like and subscribe, and if you've already been here, then you already know how it gets down. In my last video, I talked about the A7 IV being in the top 5 gear list in 2025 going to 2026, and that camera is amazing. But for today, and in this episode, in this video, I want to talk about this bad boy right here. This is the Sony A6700. It is, to me, the little brother to the Sony A7 IV. It's an amazing camera. It's really fun. It's probably my most fun camera I have used over the last 5 years. And there's a lot of cool reasons for that. Let me just start, because I'm not really going off of my notes. I'm really just going to be speaking from experience and just feels and how I feel about this camera. So the first thing is the size of it. It is smaller than the A7 IV, so it does fit in the hand really kind of uniquely. I don't got the biggest hand, so I love the way it fits in my hand personally. It does have the AI sensor, I guess, in it. So when it comes to autofocus, it's crazy. It's like sticks onto you like no tomorrow. So the autofocus on this camera is the best out of my 3 cameras that I do own, and you don't really realize it until you go handheld and you're trying to do creative shots. This is my creative camera, so anytime I want to do vlogs, or like even I'm at a wedding and I want to get creatively, I don't know, just use handheld for some reason. This camera, I prefer to use this one handheld to film, because I can just kind of like almost shoot at the hip sometimes and just be like bomb, you know. So I don't know, man, it's hard to explain, but I really love this camera. I didn't expect it to. It was supposed to be a placeholder until I get the, I guess, the A7 IV, or until I upgrade it to a camera that I really want. And it stuck around, man. I still haven't found a reason to trade it in yet, to kind of upgrade yet. Maybe in 2026 at the end of the year, maybe I might want to, but as of right now, this has been my most fun camera probably to date, besides the Canon M50 for the people who have used that camera when it first came out. Super fun camera. But this kind of brought me back that joy where I'll just take it with me for no reason, you know? And if you get into the camera business and then you start working professionally and you start working for a company and whatnot, sometimes the joy goes away, you know what I mean? And when the joy goes away, you don't even want to pick up your camera, you don't even want to work, you know what I mean? So for me, this camera kind of brought back that joy of like, man, I want to take some pictures, man, I want to shoot a reel today, or I want to do X, Y, and Z. And that right there is kind of worth this money and weight, you know? Especially when I feel like I got the A7 IV and the FX30 as my main professional working cameras, to have something that, because maybe it's not as expensive, I'm not too sure, but it really makes you want to just take it out on a daily use. And I think that's the whole point of this whole thing sometimes, that we buy things that we want to use, and it's not just sitting there looking pretty. As you can see, like I use this camera, you know, that has scuffs and stuff on it. So but let's get into a couple of the specs. Not really the specs, but just like the actual image of it. So the image of this camera to me is really, really good. I do pair it up with all my other cameras, and I've used it in wedding scenarios, I used it in interview scenarios, and I used it for photography as far as a second camera for, you know, just taking portrait shots and stuff like that. So what's really cool about it, since it is a crop sensor camera, I got like the 85mm by Sigma on it, right? And it does, I guess, transform it to about 125 focal length. So stuff like that makes it cool. You know, this is my favorite lens. So when I get to put it on this, and I'm in a scenario where distance is maybe not an issue, but it is something that you need to be considerate of, this is like the sniper rifle. You know, you just kind of like put it there, and you can really get candids with this particular setup right here. So the advantages of this body kind of brings me more things that my A7 IV can't do, and that's another reason why I truly love this camera as well. So if you're a person who does have a full frame body, and you're looking for a C camera or a B camera, and you want to give it a different perspective without, you know, doing too much, I say buy this at a cheaper rate. You could probably get this for like $1,500, and it gives you the same quality as far as image for photos and videos. Photos, of course, as a crop sensor, you'll get a little bit more noise. But you know, some people add grain back to their photos, so that's all how you want your image. You know, if you really want to print out your stuff, then you might want to get the A7 IV, I believe, is out there for the high megapixel stuff. This is, I believe, a 26 megapixel, so that is still good. I deliver full wedding galleries with this being my B camera, and it matches perfectly with the A cam, so you're not gonna lose out on too much, you know? I'll say some faults on it since we're actually here. It has one card slot on it, so that is a bummer in a way where I don't really use this as my A a lot of times, but I have never had an issue with nothing has went wrong with this camera as far as the files. And you know, we pray before every time we step out, but so far so good. So that's probably my only concern. I do like having the reassurance of having a dual slot in case I feel like I want redundancy in my recordings or in my photography for whatever reason, right? But other than that, and it also has like a smaller HDMI port, so you know, like, it's not gonna give you the full HDMI, the 2 card slots. You know, the battery life of it, I feel like lasts a little bit longer than my A7 IV. I could be wrong on that, but it's similar setup though. You still get you can switch to SNQ, video and photo mode, but then just a couple of clicks right there, you know what I mean? It still has kind of similar button layout as the A7 IV, so if you're a Sony shooter, you're gonna be super comfortable with this. And then just the processing of it, super fast, autofocus, the best that I have used out of all of my cameras. And you know, it's really cool. It's a cool camera if you're like locked into the Sony ecosystem. It really is a cool camera to have inside of your camera bag if you can afford it to be a C cam, you know what I mean? Because it does match up perfectly with the other cameras that I do have. So with that being said, I will probably give it a super detailed video later on in the year. But as of right now, this is number 2 on the list, and it is the Sony A6700, a gem, underrated camera, man. Yeah.